Well, thank you for having me. The leadership of USJC, I want to congratulate you on this successful event. It's not over yet. I'm sure it will be very successful. Our chairman, John Chen, Irene sends his best, and we hope to work with you much more in the future. We are going to celebrate our 20th anniversary coming 2011, so we hope some of you will attend. So much on Committee 100, but I would go back to the topic of the triangular relationship. My position is more from the economic standpoint. I think China needs a lot of help. China is predicted to have 155 new cities that are over between 1.5 million to 5 million population in the next 20 years. That's part of the whole rural urbanization program. In Europe, there are only 35 cities today. So just picture how much more they have to do. And I think this is the reality. China needs help. And they have so many things on the plate so that they will make mistakes and they will have misunderstanding and miscommunication with their neighbors. As a Chinese American, I want to see the success, but I also want to see a very friendly, cordial relationship with the U.S. This is where Japan can come in. I give you a few examples. I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but just a few topics that I think about all the time that include Japan in the equation. Japan has been the most successful FDI investors in China for a long time. The U.S. multinationals are also having quite a lot of success, frankly, despite some of the complaints recently. I think by and large, when you look at the report card, the relationship is a very successful commercial relationship. China today have pretty much declared to the whole world that in the next 20 years, they are going to clean up the act. They are going to clean up the water. They're going to reduce carbon. They're going to use nuclear and other alternative resources. I think Japan can be also a good neighbor to make sure China can deliver that promise. I talked to a lot of my American friends. I said, would you bet against them of getting this done? All my American friends said, no, of course China will get it done. But I said, they can only get it done with people's trust and help. And I think Japan can provide the know-how. Japan know how to do this. The other topic that I love to talk about is farming. China is moving 1 billion people into cities. Not because they are glamorous and cities are better places to live, but because I think they also want to have agricultural reform. They want to have the farmers move out a little bit to the light industries, but also to have the farms better farmed. And this is again where Japan and the U.S. know-how can be helpful. I remember not too long ago, I was in Tokyo, and my good friend from Mitsubishi Corporation took me to a rice restaurant. I don't know how many of you know about the rice restaurants. There are like 40 different types of rice. I was in heaven. When we finish the conference, you just have to remember I was the one to talk about the rice restaurant. It would be a big hit if China can learn from Japan in cultivating all this high-quality, high-nutrient rice. Today, China agricultural process is poor. I think that's another area. I say this because China is a farming country. I think if we can help them with agriculture, it can go a long way. Lastly, another one that I'm also is my pet project is the offshore renminbi. Forgetting about all the pressure on, because of politics, because whatever, on yuan appreciation. Renminbi offshore is the thing to come. Just picture that Japanese companies can finance their investments using renminbi, not just using dollars, not just using yen. I think China is very keen to expand this, and that's something that I hope you will pay attention to in the future. Now, Japan knows a lot. I think Japan can understand some of the challenges that China has facing. I think they can be the better translator of that to the mass of the American society. I think we have very good politicians. We have very good staff in Washington that I talk to. They're all experts on Japan, China, U.S. relations. But I think the mass is still a long way behind. And I just wish that we can do more in terms of the media, in terms of the exchange program that we talked about. A couple of things that we do at the Committee of 100 is that we have funded many of the U.S. journalists to tour China. You all know that newspapers in the U.S. are suffering financially. And so the Committee of 100, one of the initiatives that we have done for several years now is to provide and to facilitate as private citizens, as Americans, to allow our U.S. journalists, TV media personalities to visit China, to let them see firsthand what's going on over there, so that they can help us in closing that gap of misunderstanding and misgivings. So that's all I'm going to say. I think we will pass it back to you, Fred, and I'm happy to discuss further. Thank you.